Hey guys, what's up? Unrested here. Sorry if it's a bit noisy in the background today. I'm kind of filming at a different location, but let's jump right into it. I'm kind of scared to make this video. And the reason for that is because it's recently been found that there's a huge glitch in YouTube that has been losing people a lot of subs. And this is what I've been talking about for, I don't know, the last 2 months now in my videos. You saw me complaining earlier that I couldn't understand why I was constantly losing subs, and people were emailing me, letting me know that they had to resubscribe up to 4 times a day. Some people as much as 10 it eventually turned into. And they would even turn on notifications so they would know when they weren't getting notifications that my videos were still coming out, but that they were no longer receiving those notifications because they had been unsubbed. And I could not figure out what was going on. I thought people either like hated my channel now, or I was angering a lot of people. I wasn't putting out videos quick enough, so I started to put out videos quicker and quicker. And now it's finally come to light that uploading videos on YouTube's is now seeming to unsub anywhere from 20 to 100 subs. And for bigger channels, even more. It seems to be some kind of percentage thing. I don't know exactly how it works. As of right now, YouTube is denying this. Although multiple large channels have brought this to YouTube's attention, people have emailed YouTube again and again. I have been suffering through this problem quite a bit. I know Victor, Give Me a Flake, Give Me a Break Man has too, as well as a lot of other big YouTubers, because this was on Scarce, this was on Philip DeFranco. We're losing subs. We're losing subs because of this glitch. And I can confirm that because I am constantly dropping subs, and they're constantly messaging me and letting me know that they were unsubbed, and it's, I mean, upwards of the hundreds. I'm scared that when I make this video now, even though I want to make it to communicate it with you, my viewers, my audience, who stood with me through all of this and all the kind of heartache I guess I've gone through with losing my Facebook, and then having subs drop off, and then having videos demonetized. It's been hell this year on YouTube. I've had so many videos demonetized, number one, for title. For example, Suicide in Japan, a video which clearly defines suicide as a bad thing and tries to help as many people as it can, as far as socially saying we need to do something about it, socially saying here's some numbers that you can call, and, you know, trying to get the word out there about suicide in Japan. And when I say a bad thing, I don't mean like people who commit suicide are bad. I'm saying that the fact that the government ignores that it happens. That video has been demonetized because, of course, it's got suicide in the title, right? It must be a horrible video. On top of that, I have my Hikikomori video, which has over 11,000 views at this point, one of the highest viewed videos I've had this year, and it's been demonetized because the sound on it, now listen to this, the sound, the music in it, has been copyright claimed. Now, I don't know if you know this, but the sound that I have through the middle of the video is actually from iMovies. So it's royalty-free iMovies sound music. And that's what's been copyright claimed by some random company called WMG. Can't find anything on them, can't click on them, can't find them anywhere on the internet, can't get any information on them, can't dispute it. You know, of course, you know, I can dispute it, I can put in a dispute. But of course, this went into effect before the new, you know, putting, what do you call it, an escrow, or an embargo, what do you call that thing, where they hold the money between the two parties until they figure out which party is right. And that, since that happened before that took place on YouTube, now I've lost all the money I could possibly earn on that video, after spending over 72 hours editing a 43-minute video. So awesome, awesome. Thanks so much, YouTube. I really appreciate that. I really appreciate you guys taking all my hard work and shitting all over it. You know, and doing nothing to stand up for us again as YouTubers. On top of that, Eric Surf 6, his channel deleted. Still no reason why. We have no clue why. YouTube has no answer for him as to why his channel was deleted. Nobody even took it down. Nobody actually struck it down. Nobody, you know, claimed it. Some people are thinking it was YouTube heroes. Actually, I don't think there's any YouTube heroes who have a high enough level of heroing, I don't know what you would call it, to take anything down as of yet, unless you are like just rampant staying up through the night, deleting videos and, you know, striking stuff. Or maybe you're doing captions, which is nice. Victor's channel, Give Me a Flake Man, was taken down too. Again, YouTube doesn't know why, no reason, no rhyme. It was back up at the same day, just like Eric's channel, but it was down, deleted, and it was for the same thing too. It said like, because it had offensive material or had broken guideline, community guidelines. It makes no sense. I guess the last thing I want to cover, just two last things I got here. I don't want to make this a long video. I just kind of want to get you guys up to date on where I'm at and why my videos aren't coming out as often as they used to, because they lose me a bunch of subs. 3, Japan's reaction to Trump. So a lot of people have been messaging me recently about what is Japan's reaction to Trump being made president. To keep it as brief as possible and without taking anybody's side at all, I hope this doesn't feel like it's taking anybody's side. Japan is actually, they're not worried about Trump. What they're worried about for America is they're just very surprised to see all the fighting that's happening in America. I don't know if you guys ever saw it, but when the Fukushima earthquake back in February 11th, I forget the year, was it 2011? 2000, man, that was a long time ago. When that took place anyway, you know, plenty of places ran out of food, didn't have running water, they didn't have grocery stores with anything in them, and the Japanese people nicely lined up quietly, no rioting, no protesting, waited in line, got their food, and got taken care of by the government. And that's how they operate. You don't ever really see a lot of chaos. Now, I'm not saying there's never been a protest in Japan. There are protests. But a lot of rioting, a lot of protesting that reaches a violent crescendo does not really happen in Japan. That's one of the reasons I love this country. I have to constantly, I guess, applaud this country for its civility and how much humanity it shows when crises strike, or when disagreements strike, or when protests strike. And I really hope America takes a look at that. Maybe calms down a little bit. Can't we just all love each other? Anyway, moving on. My last but not least, this is something I've kind of kept on the DL for almost 6 months that I've been working on it. I have been working on a new horror movie. Those of you who have followed the channel for a while know that I've actually made a few. One of my most well-known ones was my very first horror movie ever, called Smudge Mouth. It was horrible. Looking back on it now, it was garbage. I hate it. Now, you guys were awesome. You guys supported me a bunch. That video actually has a ton of views on it. It actually even got reviewed on a horror website about horror movies, which blows my mind that it would have even reached that point. I did do my best to try and promote the hell out of it because I worked ages on it. This one, I would have to say, is kind of my opus. This is something I've been working on for such a long time, going around getting footage from all over Japan, all of its original footage, all the effects, all the sounds, all the masks and special effects makeup are all done by me. The entire story is done by me. You know, I've got some other actors in it, of course, because I can't act every role in it. And it's not like I'm doing all this because I think like I'm the best at everything I do. I don't trust anybody else. It's mostly because I just don't have time to meet up with a lot of people and collab. And I am very grateful and very lucky for the actors I have had star in this movie. But I'm going to start talking about it now because I'm already 45 minutes deep into editing. I've filmed like over like 3 to 5 hours of video. It's so much video. I've had to throw away a bunch though. Yeah, that's one thing I've come to realize, that if you really want to make something good as far as a movie's concerned, you trash so much film. I think I must have gone with almost every first cut I had on my very first horror movie. But anyway, let me get more focused. Let me get back on this. It's a horror movie revolving around glitch art. Glitch art is something that is popular pretty much all over the world, but it's still very, very discreet. It's still very not well known, but it's also something that has kind of converged with the Japanese art style of wabi-sabi, which means art with imperfection or art that shows decay over time. And that's something I've always kind of liked too. So the fact that I could combine those two art forms and then combine them into a horror movie was something really interesting I've always wanted to try. I've always wanted to make a very art-based horror movie. I will say, for those of you who are squeamish or don't like a lot of gore, I think you'll be okay with this movie. It does not involve a lot of gore. It's almost all psychological. I don't really have any movie to liken it to, but I want to try and be as original as possible with it. All I would ask is that you give it a chance. I think it's looking like it's going to be maybe an hour-long movie, but it might go longer than that. I don't know. I'm going to try and keep it like an hour to an hour and 30 minutes. I'm not going to go 2 hours like I did with Smudge Mouth. That was just too much. And I want to keep almost every moment of this movie as a scene you want to watch. Like, there's no downtime, no boring, you know, Birdemic driving in a car for 2 hours scene, if you guys know what I'm talking about, Birdemic. Anyway, I thought though I would start to promote it a little bit now, and as I get deeper into this whole editing thing, you know, I'm of course giving you a few sneak peeks in this video, but maybe make a trailer coming up soon too, and I guess start to get any feedback from anybody who would like to help out with a horror movie. Right now what I really could use from a lot of people is if you're good with After Effects. That's the only thing I can't really do too much of, just because I just don't even have the program for my computer. I could use a little bit if someone could help me out with that. That would be awesome. You know, I'm even willing to pay, of course, as I always try to do whenever I have anybody help me out with any project I do on YouTube, aside from collabs with other YouTube channels. On top of that, I want to say that I am working on starting my own business as far as my own school is concerned. I opened a smaller one in the past. It didn't quite work out with the rental deal that I had there. So when I closed the rental deal, like, I kind of closed out the business. I didn't really lose any money. There wasn't a lot of overhead or anything. So, but I'm opening a new school, and in that one, I'm going to try and have one room that is a studio room with a green screen and good lighting, good sound, good acoustics, which make a big difference as I'm finding the more and more I record, the more movies I make, the more videos I make. And I want to try and open that up to a lot of the Osaka YouTubers, because what a lot of you may not know is that we do have a YouTube studio in Japan. Sadly, it's in Tokyo, and I don't know why people don't just look at a map and figure this out, but Tokyo is quite far from Osaka. Even on a bullet train, I would have to go for over 2 hours and pay about 120 bucks one way just to get to Tokyo, and that's just too expensive for using a studio. It's nice, we get to use it for free, that's cool. I really appreciate it, YouTube. Wish there was one in Osaka. Guess I'll build my own. And it's something that I also want to open up to other YouTubers. So if you are a small YouTuber here in Osaka, I don't care if you're Gaijin Japanese, I don't care what country you're from, that does not matter to me. Get in contact with me, or if you know one here who's looking for a place to record, get in contact with me. I want to, number one, start to collab more with local YouTubers, and number two, open up that studio to them to make videos either together or on their own. And I don't want to do it with any kind of charge or anything like that. I want to help promote the Osaka scene more and more, just like the Tokyo scene I think is a little more buddy-buddy, and I feel like they're a tighter crowd, and I would like to see that happen here in Osaka too. Anyway, until next time, I am Unrested with the questions you requested. Thank you so much for watching this video, and if you haven't already, please check if you're subscribed. Please check if your notifications are on. Hit that little bell in the corner and that'll turn on notifications. Kind of get the word out there if you could that YouTube is unsubbing so many people. Again, as always, thank you so much for watching.